Tritek Consulting Limited Cybersecurity Masterclass. If you notice that I'm looking towards this side, it's because I have two screens in front of me. So bear with me. How are we all doing today? So I always like my sessions to be very interactive. So if I can see in the chat, how are we all doing today, this Saturday afternoon? Can I see in the chat, please? Good. Thank you, TA, for joining us. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Next slide, please. Thank you, Favor. You're welcome, Favor. Thank you, Paulson, for joining us. So I would like to go over some of the house rules before we kickstart the session. So I would like for every one of us to sign in using our real names. You'll be muted throughout the session. Please turn off your videos and be professional. I'm excited. I can't wait for you all to, experience the goodies that we have for you today. I promise it's just going to be 2 hours packed. Hi, Matilda. How are you doing today? Thank you for joining us. Hi, Adigite. Hi, Roxine. Hi, Latifa. Thank you so much for joining us. We're just going to get a little bit interactive to allow more people to join. So like I said, please turn off your videos and be professional. So in case you're not signed in with your real names, before I kickstart, I would like for you to sign out and sign in with your real names, just for familiarity's sake. Hi, Osayu Warel. I'm so sorry if I didn't pronounce it well. How are you doing today? Thank you so much. Hi, Raji. Hi, Bamigbelu. Thank you so much for joining us. And also, I would like to know where you all are joining us from. So let me see in the chat where you all joining us from. I'll go first. So I'm joining in from our Nigerian office in Lagos, Nigeria. So let's see in the chat where you all are joining us from. Hi, Crawford. Thank you for joining us. Crawford is joining us from United Kingdom. Mohammed from London. Vignesh from UK. Faith from UK, Sarah from UK, Michael from London, Bami Belly from UK, Muntaz from Manchester, Osayuware from Mansfield, Laura from London. I see lots of UK. Where are my Lagos people, please? No offense to those of you joining us from UK. Tunde from UK, Latifat from Success. Thank you so much, Paulson from UK. You all amazing. I like the vibe already. Thank you. But finally, thank you, Desmond. Thank you, Desmond, from joining. Desmond is joining us from Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining the session once again. Next slide, please. So now we're going to fully start the session. So let's meet our esteemed and amazing CEO. Dr. Adishola Cole is the CEO of Tritek Consulting Limited. She's married with 3 children. Thank you, Destiny from UK. She's married with 3 kids. She was born in Hackney, England. She's a graduate of English literature. She's Prince 2 accredited, Scrum Master certified, and lastly holds a diploma in change management. Now, how did Tritek come about? So Tritek was created out of frustration from a banking job. She realized that at this point, I need to do better. Which is, I think that's the same seats most of you all are on currently. You feel like you need to do better. You feel like you need to push yourself. You feel like you need to learn something new, which is why you're joining us here for our Cybersecurity Masterclass. So Tritek started with just 2 candidates in March 2017, and we can currently boast of over 5,000 candidates in 2024. How amazing is that, guys? Started from 2 candidates in 2017, and over the years, I think that's like 7 years, we now have like over 5,000 candidates in 2024. And also, Dr. Adishola Cole over the years has received awards of recognition for a tremendous contribution to society. So we're going to go over some of the awards that she has received over the years. And we're going to start from 2016. She won Mentor of the Year. And in 2018, she was awarded Woman of the Year. And in 2020, she was recipient of the award for Youth Empowerment. And in 2022, again, she won Woman of the Year. And in the same 2022, she was awarded a Rotary Recognition Award for Philanthropy. And in the same year, 2022, She was awarded Emerging CEO of the Year. Can I get a round of applause? I mean, look at this, over the years from 2016 to 2022. I mean, it's been years of lots of hard work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, George. And 2022, she was awarded Emerging CEO of the Year, and the same 2022, sorry, just a moment, African Achievers Legacy Award 2022. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Omolara. Thank you all. I like the energy today. Thank you, Latifat. And the following year, she was awarded Global Excellence Outstanding Woman in Tech. And in 2023, we were featured in Forbes. How amazing is that, guys? And in the same year, 2023, she was featured in 100 Most Impactful People. And recently, she was awarded the Top 100 Influential Global Voices. Can I get a round of applause, please? I want to see more round of applause in the chat, please. Like, guys, let's be active. Thank you so much, Nosa. Thank you, George. Thank you, Nosa. I'm going to disturb you all today because I like my sessions to be very interactive. So yes, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Tunde. Thank you, Crawford. Thank you, Paulson. Thank you so much. Next slide, please. Thank you, Faith. So now, why make Tritek your choice? So over the years, 75% of our candidates have successfully secured roles. I mean, it's one thing for you to pay to learn a course, and it's another thing for you to at least benefit from your entire hard work and all of that. So over the years, 75% of our candidates have successfully secured roles. And counting. I mean, if you go on our social media platform on Instagram, you would see like every now and then you always post success stories, which is just to motivate each and every one of you out there. But if you put in the work and you're determined and you're committed, you will definitely get that role that you've been looking for. And secondly, why you should make Tritek your choice. We focus on the candidate development, on relevant and necessary skills that will give them a competitive edge over their peers. In Tritek, we try to make ourselves a little bit different from others out there. And we also provide you with practical work experience to enable you achieve your aspired success, provided you put in the work. So in Tritek, we try to make all the necessary platform for you. And this is my favorite, actually. So we don't only give you the theory aspect, we also give you the practical aspect, which is we give you hands-on experience. So you get to be in the field of a cyber security. Yes, and we also offer experienced mentors who assist candidates in their individual journeys and cater to their specific needs. So from the start up till when you get to finish, not only that, up until when you're on the path to secure your role, Tritek will be with you all the way. And lastly, we develop innovative solutions that will work best for you from inception to interview stage. So just like I mentioned in step 4, we offer experienced mentor. So once you're done with your training, or when you're almost done with your training, and you're starting to feel like a little bit confident and you want to try your hands and start applying for jobs, and you successfully get an interview, Tritek will assign to you a mentor. So the mentor's responsibility would be that guide you all the way through the interview process, because we all know how interviews can be these days. It's really getting out of hand. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now, why cybersecurity? Businesses today rely heavily on technology and the internet. So storing sensitive information like financial records, even your social media password, employee data, and customer details. Cybersecurity, thank you, KJB, thank you so much. Cybersecurity is crucial to protect this information from falling into the wrong hands, which could be disastrous for businesses. I mean, yes. I mean, majority of us can testify to that. Thank you, Adama. And it also safeguards national security, as governments and military organizations depend on technology. And cybersecurity could have, cyber attacks could have serious consequences. Moreover, cybersecurity protects the economy by preventing revenue loss. damage reputations, and reduce productivity from cyber attacks. So I'm not going to bore you with all of these. I mean, we get to the stage whereby the trainer will come in and take his time to give you from start to finish why you should choose cybersecurity today. So both individuals and businesses must implement strong cybersecurity measures to protect against this threat and reduce the impact of cybercrime. Next slide, please. So I'm just quickly going to rush through the benefits of cybersecurity, job market and growth, competitive salaries. I mean, cybersecurity roles often come with attractive salaries and benefits, and diverse career opportunities. In cybersecurity, it offers various roles like security analyst, ethical hacker, security consultant, and cryptographer, and many other, allowing for specialization based on interest, and also job security, right? And it also promotes remote work opportunities, because many cybersecurity jobs these days offer flexibility, which includes the option to work from home, which is actually very, very convenient, and which can also improve work-life balance. And lastly, global opportunities. Next slide, please. So these are the worldwide cybersecurity professional salaries currently in 2024. We can see the figures in USA, we can see the figures in UK, we can see the figures in India, we can see the figures in Canada. If these figures are appealing to you, can I see a yes in the chat? I mean, these figures are not small figures. These figures are not small figures. Can I see? Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Exactly. I think you all like me. Thank you. Can I see more responses, please? I'm sure you all like this figure. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, George. Fantastic. Fantastic. Next slide, please. So now we're going to introduce our trainer. I'm super excited. And I'm going to be on standby to also hear what he has to say and what he has to present to each and every one of us. And I'm really glad I'm here to at least enjoy what you guys are going to enjoy today. So let's meet the trainer. Abdul Salam is a cybersecurity analyst with a focus on securing digital systems and helping others break into the field. Thank you, Ochiaka. And Abdul Salam is an instructor, so he simplifies complex cybersecurity concepts using real-world examples to connect theory with practical and emphasize the importance of continuous learning in this evolving industry. Remember, I said in the previous slide that Tritek will give you hands-on experience, and this is what Abdul Salam would do during the course of your training, right? So he holds certifications such as CompTIA Security Plus, ISC2 certified in cybersecurity. Thank you, Omolara, they are not small. Thank you so much. Certified in cybersecurity and the SecOps Group certified AppSec practitioner. These qualifications, along with this experience, has allowed him to guide over 50 students and counting. I mean, with the rest of you that will join us today, guide over 50 students in their cybersecurity careers. Next slide, please. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, right. So let's go to the previous slide. Thank you so much. So now, who is ready to meet our trainer? Do I have Abdul Salam on the call, please? Thank you, Henry.
Good afternoon, Divine. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you, Laura. I like the vibe today. Thank you, George. Thank you, Ochaka. Thank you, Abdul Salam, for joining us today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you also?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So over to you.
Okay. Thank you very much. So let me just share my slide real quick. All right, just a minute. I'm trying to bring up my slides. All right, so good day, everyone. And first of all, I would like to welcome you guys once again to the Tritek Consulting Cybersecurity Tech Day. And before I even start off talking about anything, I just want to mention the fact that just by being here alone, you guys have taken the right step in bettering your future. So by becoming attendants of this meeting, you've decided to take the right step in bettering your future. So I would like to congratulate you guys once again for it, just for being here, first of all. So today we're going to be talking about cybersecurity and all of the things that it entails. So welcome to the Cybersecurity Tech Day. Today, I'm excited to talk to you guys about cybersecurity, what it is, why it matters, and some of the reasons why it is such a rewarding field to work in. So today, we're going to discuss some of the biggest trends and threats in cybersecurity. We'll also talk about some real-world examples of attacks, opportunities that are available in the field, because it's a very fast-paced, fast-growing field. Like, so we're going to explore some of the reasons, some of the opportunities that are available, and some of the reasons why it is termed as a fast-growing field, right? So whether you are here to learn more or you are thinking about a career in cybersecurity, I'm sure that by the end of this session, you're going to leave here with a solid understanding of what this field has to offer. So let's get right into it. So are you guys excited to be here? So if you're excited to be here, so let me just see a couple messages in the chat box to know that you guys are actually excited and happy to be here. So before I start talking about cybersecurity, I just want to tell you guys a little bit more about myself. So thank you very much, Divine, for that wonderful intro. So Divine has introduced me a bit, but let me just tell you a little bit more about myself. So I don't want it to be like you guys are listening to a faceless robot. So I want to introduce myself and just familiarize myself. I want to humanize myself a little bit so we know we're having a chat, I don't want you to see this, guys. I don't want you to see this as a lecture per se. I want you to see it as maybe just two of us having a conversation talking about cyber and learning more about it. Don't see it as a lecture. I always like my classes to be somewhat of very interactive sessions where we're just having conversations while we're both learning from each other, right? So no individual is a fountain of knowledge. So we're both learning from each other. So this is a knowledge sharing session. Picture it as that. Let me start by telling you about myself. So, of course, I'm a cybersecurity analyst and a penetration tester. So that means I work to identify and also to fix security weaknesses in digital systems to keep them safe. Now, I studied electronics and computer engineering, and I'm also an ISC squared member. So, what is ISC squared? So, ISC squared is a globally recognized cybersecurity organization. So, this is an international cybersecurity organization that promotes industry standard and also provides certifications. So in addition to all of this, in addition to my work, I'm also passionate about teaching, and I've also guided 50 students and counting in building their own cybersecurity career. So I hope you guys are going to add to that numbers after this session. So I hold certifications like the Commercial Security Plus, which is one of the most popular cybersecurity certifications. Also, the ISC squared certified in cybersecurity. I would say, one of the newer certifications, and also the SecOps Group certified application security practitioner as well. So all of these things, all of these certifications have validated my knowledge in areas like network security, secure coding, and threat detection. These certifications also ensure that I stay updated with the latest cybersecurity trends and threats. Cybersecurity is a very dynamic field. So when I say dynamic, what I mean by that is it is a field that is always changing. So what these certifications do is that they help you to stay ahead of the game. So with all of that introduction out of the way, let's jump right into why we're all here in the first place. Let's talk cyber, shall we? Let me scroll down. And let me introduce you guys properly to cybersecurity. So what exactly is cybersecurity? Let's start with the basics, right? What is cybersecurity? At its core, cybersecurity is the practice of protecting systems, networks, and data from digital attacks. These are often called cyber attacks. So I want you to ignore all of the big grammar. If you Google what is cybersecurity, you're going to get 1,000 different definitions telling you different things. But ignore all of that noise. All I want you to understand is what exactly is cybersecurity. And cybersecurity is all about protecting systems, networks, and data from digital attacks. So those three things are the primary goal of cybersecurity: to protect your systems, your networks, and your data, right? Yeah, protect from digital attacks. Digital attacks are often referred to as cyber attacks. So these attacks are attempts by malicious individuals or even groups to try to gain unauthorized access to systems or steal sensitive information. Now, let me break that down a little bit better again. So when I mean unauthorized access, it means when someone is trying to gain access into your systems without the right permissions, right? Like, let me give you a simpler definition, a definition that you could properly relate to. For instance, now, let's say you invite someone to your home and they're trying to get in without your permission. That's unauthorized access. And that's the aim of cybersecurity: to protect unauthorized people from gaining access into your systems or being able to steal your sensitive information. Now, in today's world where almost everything is online, cybersecurity is more important than ever. So think about the information that we share every day. information like your banking details, your personal records, company data, or even basic information like your chats with your friends or family, things like that. So without cybersecurity, all of those information would be vulnerable to hackers and dangerous people out there that are trying to exploit those information. So this is why cybersecurity professionals work tirelessly to make sure that data stays private and the system remains safe and operational. So cybersecurity is not something that should only be relevant to cybersecurity professionals. Cybersecurity should matter to each and every one of us. So long as you make use of the internet, cybersecurity should be a practice, should be a priority for you, right? So I'm just going to go over this again to make sure. I'm just going to go over the highlights of what I've talked about in this slide before I proceed once again to ensure that everyone is with me. I always like to carry my audience along with me. So let's talk about what exactly cybersecurity. So if someone asks you, if some of the key things I want to take away from this session is to understand what exactly cybersecurity is and what exactly cybersecurity is all about. Let's break down those two words. Let me break down to I'll go over this with another approach again. So let's break down those two words. Cybersecurity is comprised of two words: cyber security. Cyber just basically means having to do, if you Google cyber now, what does cyber mean? It just basically means having to do with data systems or networks. That's what cyber is all about. So having to do with data systems or networks. And then security, of course, we know what security is. Security is all about protecting our assets. Anything that we own, protecting it is security. That was what security is about. So cyber, taking those two words and bringing them together, cyber security. So it is the practice of protecting systems, networks, and data. Brilliant and simple. That's what it is. You don't have to overcomplicate it with big grammars. No. I'm all about getting the root cause, the root definition of what I'm after. So that's what cybersecurity is all about. I hope after this you have a clearer understanding, a clearer picture of what cybersecurity is all about. So let's move forward to the next slide again, shall we? I hope you guys are still with me. Now, we've talked about what exactly it is. Now, why does it matter? Right? So what is the essence of cybersecurity? Cybersecurity, like I said, cybersecurity isn't just something that should be on the minds of just techno companies. No, cybersecurity matters to each and every one of us because cyber threats are everywhere. They affect individuals, they affect businesses, and they even affect government. So as big as they may seem, cyber threats are also applicable to large organizations like your governments. The cyber attacks are happening more frequently and at a larger scale. For instance, now, this is a statistic. Cybercrime is expected to cost the world about $10.5 trillion annually by 2025. Now, those are big figures. Those are massive figures. And those are things that could be avoidable, right? By putting in the right measures in place to mitigate. Now, I will not say you could totally abolish it. I will not at that point yet. But those figures could be drastically reduced, right? So cyber attacks are happening more frequently than ever. And of course, staggering numbers to it is going to cost the world $10.5 trillion annually by 2025. Annually, that's every year from 2025. So now this includes things like your data breaches. These data breaches are where sensitive information is being stolen. We also have ransomware attack. Ransomware attack are where attackers lock down systems and demand payment. That's where you got the name from, ransomware. And let me give you a key example of how ransomware looks like. The name is from the word ransomware. So what happens when your system is infected with a ransomware is that all of the files on your system are locked, right? Every file, your music, your videos, your pictures, everything, they become inaccessible. And then if you try to click on the file, if you try to open the file, you're going to get shown a message that says all your files have been locked by this particular ransomware. To gain access to your files again, you need to pay maybe $500, $1,000. It's cryptocurrency to this particular address to unlock those files. Now, the thing about that is that, well, you have become once you have become a victim of a ransomware attack, you've become at the mercy of the hackers or the attackers. All of the cards are in their pack now. And my 2 cents on that is never negotiate with terrorists, right? So it is possible that you pay said figure and your files are still going to be locked. So it's possible that you pay all of the money, they keep on demanding for further payments, and they never actually unlock your file. So once you've gotten to that point, you have become at their mercy. And well, we all pray to never be in such a situation. But at that point, my advice for you is to just format your system and start over, because negotiating with terrorists is always a bad idea. Now, we've talked about ransomware a little bit. So let's move forward and let's talk about also phishing scams. So phishing scams are something that happen very, very, very much frequently. Because phishing scams is a type of attack where people are tricked into giving up their information. Now, the weakest link in any information system is always the human element. You can have the best encryption, the best everything, but the weakest link in your system is always going to be human beings, the humans, right? Because people are always the easiest to trick. Like for instance, now in larger organizations like maybe Facebooks and things like that, they have all of the encryption put in place to secure your Facebook accounts and everything. They have all of that in place. They have the best of the best, the smartest people in the world. They have that at Facebook, and they put all this place to ensure that your Facebook accounts are secure. Now, all of that becomes useless if an attacker can just trick you into giving them your Facebook password. All of the encryption, all of the things they put in place, it has become null and void, useless. If an attacker is able to trick you into giving them your Facebook passwords, right? All of that information goes away. It becomes useless. And that's why phishing scams are so dangerous. And we're going to be talking about phishing scams in the next couple of slides. I'm also going to show you a live demonstration of how that would look like. So we're not just talking about all of these things in a theoretical sense. We're going to be getting our hands dirty a little bit, just seeing our real world cyber attacks in action. We're just going to be taking a look at some of those things. Our real life examples shows us how dangerous, how impactful these attacks can be. For instance, now in 2021, a ransomware attack on the Colonial Pipeline led to fuel shortages across the east coast of the United States. And also, back in 2017, the Equifax data breach exposed the personal information of over 147 million people. Now those figures are staggering, right? 147 million people, their personal information out on the internet, just as like their full names, home addresses, social security numbers, things like that, all of that just being readily available on the internet without their knowledge. Now it was no fault on their part. It's basically the fault of the companies or the organizations that they trusted their data to. So data breaches are also a very dangerous, very disastrous and impactful type of cyber attacks. These aren't just numbers. The impacts real people through identity theft, financial loss, and also breaches of privacy. This is one of the reasons why cybersecurity is so important. This is why it matters to each and every one of us, right? So I don't want you to have the mindset that cybersecurity. I'm not a cybersecurity professional. I don't need to care about cybersecurity. That mentality and that thinking is absolutely wrong. So long as you make use of the internet, so long as you turn on your data every day, you should be cautious You should be cautious and be careful whenever you go out on the internet. The internet is a dangerous place. A lot of people have the misconceptions that they are safe whenever they go out on the internet, and that's thinking or that ideology is quite wrong, because the internet can be a very, very scary place. Okay, so it seems someone is raising up their hand. So please, sir, you can go ahead, sir. Mr. Aleko. Okay. All right, let's proceed once again, shall we? So let's move forward to the next slide. So the next slide, I want to talk about who exactly are the cybersecurity professionals. I just want to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes of some cybersecurity professionals. So who are these people that are working in cybersecurity, and what exactly do they do? Now, first thing I want to mention before I even start talking about all of these various cybersecurity professionals is that this list that I have here, it's far from exhaustive. We're barely scratching the surface of some cybersecurity roles and responsibilities that exist. There are a lot more. Now, of course, if we had much more time, we could cover these. It would take a couple hours or so to cover all of these things, but I'm just going to give you guys a tip of the iceberg. Let's talk a little bit about some cybersecurity professionals and a variety of the roles that exist. The first one I want to look at are the ethical hackers. So the ethical hackers are also known as the penetration testers. What they do is that they think like hackers, and they try to break into systems to identify and also fix vulnerabilities before real attackers can actually exploit them, right? So their job is to basically, they follow the ideology that to think like a thief, to catch a thief, you have to think like a thief. That's what ethical hackers do. So they try to get into the mindset or the mentality of the way hackers will be able to get into your system, and they try to get into it and let you know that this is how they were able to get into, so that you can prevent hackers from actually getting into your system. For instance, now it's like, let me give you a non-technical example. It's basically like saying you build a mansion, right? You want to ensure that thieves cannot get into your mansion. So what do? You hire a thief to come and try. You hire a thief on your own to try to get into your mansion for you and tell you how he was able to get in. And that way you can now put in defenses in place to prevent actual thieves from getting into your property. That's what ethical hackers do. So they try to identify vulnerabilities by simulating attacks, right? To think like a thief, To catch a thief, you have to think like a thief. That's the philosophy that ethical hackers follow. But of course, ethics is very important. The ethical part is very important. They do this thing with express consent, with permission. So consent is very important when we're talking about ethical hacking, right? So consent is what differentiates the ethical hackers from the hackers that are trying to steal your information and all of things like that. So consent is the most important thing. Permission, doing all of these things with permission is very important. I also want to talk about security analysts. So what they do is that they monitor an organization's systems and try to respond to potential security threats to ensure the network stays secure. They are basically the defenders, right? So we can say ethical hackers are kind of offensive, right? They try to break in their offensive cybersecurity professionals. While the security analysts, we can consider them being defensive professionals, right? So they try to monitor an organization's systems and respond to potential security threats to ensure that the network stays secure. And the next one I want to talk about are the incident responders. So incident responders are kind of like the firefighters of cybersecurity, right? So what the firefighters do, they show up, they try to put out fires. That's kind of what incident responders do. They step in when an active security breach is happening and work to contain and minimize the impact. And that's why I said they are like the firefighters of cybersecurity, because let's talk about what firefighters do. They come in when there's a fire, they try to contain the fire from spreading and also to minimize the impact of such fire. That's what incident responders do in the context of cybersecurity. So they step in when there's an active security breach and they try to work to contain said breach and also to minimize the impacts. Now, so each of these roles that I've talked about now, like I said, I want to restate the fact that these roles are, this is just barely scratching the surface. These are just some of the more popular cybersecurity roles and responsibilities. There are a bunch of these I could talk about. And I want you guys, after this class, to do more research on some of the cybersecurity roles and responsibilities that exist. So before you even get in the field, try to start forming an idea of what kind of role you want to work in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a very broad field. So after this section, I want you to try to do more research on the different cybersecurity roles and responsibilities that exist and try to picture where you see yourself working in the field. Now, each of these roles, they require a combination of technical skills such as understanding networks and encryption, and also soft skills like trying to effectively communicate and quick problem solving. So soft skills are also very important in cybersecurity, because a lot of the time you're going to be working with people that are not so technically inclined. So you have to be able to explain to them what exactly is happening, right? So if, for instance, now you're working in a company, not everyone on the board of directors has the technical knowledge. So you have to be able to break down these things, explain to them what exactly is happening and the best course of action for fixing such issues. So effective communication is also a very important skill. And also cybersecurity is all about staying alert, plain and simple. So being able to analyze situation and working with teams to keep systems safe is also a very vital skill when it comes to cybersecurity. So all of these roles that I've talked about, they require a combination of some of these skills. Some of these skills I've talked about, so the technical skills as well as the soft skills. So each of these roles require some of those. So like I said, try to research more on the different roles and responsibilities. This list is far from exhaustive, and this is just we're barely scratching the surface. This is the tip of the iceberg. So let's move forward to the next slide again. Let's talk more cyber. I hope you guys are you still with me? Are you still pumped? I hope I've not lost you guys. Are you still with me? Let's move to the next slide, shall we? So now, the fastest growing field. Why? Why do we call it? Why do we call cybersecurity that one of the fastest growing tech field? Why do we say that? I'm here to tell you why. So cybersecurity is one of the fastest growing tech fields, and here's why. First reason I want to talk about is the fact that we have increased cyber threats. As incidents become more and more frequent and also sophisticated in the sense that these hackers or these attackers, they are getting smarter day by day, and we should also be doing the same. We should also be improving upon our knowledge to better be able to protect from these guys. So as cyber incidents become more frequent and also more sophisticated, there's a growing demand for professionals that can keep up with these evolving threats. As they are getting smarter, there is the need for cybersecurity professionals that are also that much smarter. They can also think on their feet to be able to pinpoint, to be able to combat and also match up to these attackers is very much important. So that's why there's increased demand. That's one of the reasons why. The next reason is in the case of digital transformation. So with businesses moving operations online, there's more to protect. A lot of businesses are moving online. In fact, in 2024, if your business does not have some form of digital infrastructure put in place, well, you are sleeping. That's the truth. So with more businesses moving operations online, there's more to protect. As companies digitize their processes, they introduce new vulnerabilities that need strong security measures to be able to properly secure, right? So as more businesses are moving online, the need for security is ever more is that much more important. That's the second reason. The third reason I want to look at is also new technologies, right? So we have newer technologies like the IoT. I don't know if you guys know about the IoT, but I don't expect you, I don't expect you guys to. So let me tell you what IoT is all about. IoT means Internet of Things. So I'm not going to go too in depth today. Not right now. But let me just tell you about let me give you examples of what IoT devices are all about. So you know how these days we have things like smart homes. We're in our smart homes where we have smart light bulbs, smart refrigerators, smart TVs, smart everything, right? All of those things are powered by IoT technology, Internet of Things. So basic household devices are getting connected to the internet. That's why you could from your TV, you could browse the internet. We have smartwatches and all of these things. Now, all of these IoT devices, they introduce a lot of convenience. They make life easier. From your phone, you could turn off your lights, you could turn off your AC, and you could do things like that. We love IoT devices. They make our life that much more easier. But what most people fail to realize about Internet of Things or IoT devices is the fact that they were designed for convenience and not security, right? So a lot of these devices, they were made to make your life easier, but they were not built with security in mind. So most of them they have become very easy for attackers to be able to get into. So it's possible for an attacker to hack into your TV, see what you're watching and things like that. Because those devices, most of these devices, they were not built with security in mind, like I said. So technologies like IoT, cloud computing, and also artificial intelligence, which is something that we're hearing a lot about these days. They become popular, and also, but the thing about them is that, of course, they brought in more possibilities, right? They've also brought in some unique security challenges, right? So challenges that 5, 10 years ago we never envisioned happening. IoT devices, cloud computing, and also artificial intelligence have introduced us to those unique security challenges. So this is also another reason why cybersecurity. These are some of the factors that are driving the growth of cybersecurity industry. Another reason that I want to give is in the context of government regulation. So privacy laws like the GDPR. Let me talk about what the GDPR is. So I like to stop a lot when I'm explaining something to give you a little bit of backstory so that you can follow along with me. I don't want to just talk about acronyms. I like to break things down as best as I can. So what is GDPR? The GDPR is the General Data Protection Regulation. It is a law in the European Union that covers tech and all of things like data protection, that covers how your data should be protected in the European Union. It doesn't apply everywhere. So privacy laws like the GDPR and CCPA, they require businesses to take specific steps to protect data, which increases the need for cybersecurity professionals. So all these factors that I've mentioned, they drive the demand for cybersecurity skills, and the jobs in the field are expected to grow by 33% through 2030. So it's an exciting time to be in the field of cybersecurity. So this, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I want to congratulate you guys for even taking the initiative to be here today. So first of all, big ups to you guys. So move forward once again, shall we? So the next slide, we want to talk about one of the key reasons to join the cybersecurity field. Why should you be here in the first place? Why should you consider a career in cybersecurity? The first reason I want to give, Divine already talked a bit about some of the reasons why this is the best time to join cybersecurity, please. But I want to give you guys a little bit more reasons. So why you should consider a career in cybersecurity? The first reason I want to talk about is the high demand and the job security. So cybersecurity job offer stability because of the growing demand, and companies across all industries need these skills. So you are not refined to a particular industry. Don't say you you can only work in the banking sector, you can only work in this particular sector. Cybersecurity applies across the board. You could work in any field. It applies to any field. And also, the second reason is purpose-driven work, right? So cybersecurity is all about protecting people, companies, and even governments from digital threats. So you're actually going to be making a difference in the world. The next reason I want to give is also for innovation opportunities. So you're going to get to work with the latest technology like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and also threat intelligence to develop advanced security solutions. So now, if I've not convinced you by now, I don't know what more I could do. But wait, there's more. So let's talk about what makes a good cybersecurity candidate. Now, a lot of people, a common question that most people ask is that whether you need a technical background to succeed in cybersecurity. The short and emphatic answer is no. So there are many successful cybersecurity professionals that started with no prior tech experience. So if you have no tech experience, no problem. So what's more important are some certain personality traits that are going to help you succeed even that much better in the field. The first one is curiosity, right? A genuine interest in understanding how things work and solving complex problems. So if you're very curious, you're going to do so well in the field. The next reason is patience. Now, cybersecurity can be very complex sometimes, so patience is very important. Cybersecurity often requires you to troubleshoot, to test, and find creative new solutions. So you are going to require some form of patience in this field. If you're not patient before, I would advise you to try to start developing that patience mentality or that patience. The next thing I want to talk about is the ethical mindset. So integrity and ethics are crucial. Cybersecurity is about doing what's right and protecting others. So like I said, consent, ethics are what differentiates you from the dangerous hackers, the malicious hackers that want to steal money and do dangerous things. So in cybersecurity, you are always learning. The field is a dynamic one. It changes rapidly, and continuous learning is part of the journey, right? So that's why cybersecurity is not a field that you say you've learned once and you've learned everything. No, it is an ever-changing field. You are always going to be learning new things. New attacks are coming up each day. So you always have to ensure that you are staying ahead of the field and you are getting our knowledge regularly, right? I can even till today, I still take classes, I still learn. Like cybersecurity is a field that you always have to learn. So the ethical mindset that I've talked about in the base is I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in the next slide. So let's move to the next slide. So the next slide, I want to show you guys cybersecurity skills in action, right? I didn't just want this class. I didn't just want this session to be something I just talk, and you guys have not seen how it is to be a cybersecurity. So in this particular slide, I'm going to be showing you a demo. But first, before I show you the demo, I just want to talk about a couple of things, and then I'll show you a live demo. I prepared ahead of time, a live demo video that I prepared ahead of time to show you guys how some cyber attacks may look like. Let's talk about cybersecurity. So to illustrate how cybersecurity skills apply, let's take a look at a scenario that you might encounter. So now imagine that you receive an email from, let's say, Microsoft saying that you need to update your account information due to an urgent issue. Maybe they say your account was logged in so time, and you, of course, you know that your account was not logged in, but the thing about this kind of attack is they try to trigger the fear in you, right? They try to rush you, they try to create a sense of panic. So you receive an email from Microsoft, they tell you update your account information. If not, in 2 days, or if not, your account is going to be blocked, something like that. So the email looks real. They take the email looks legitimate. It looks exactly like how the email from Microsoft is going to look like. And then you click on the link and it takes you to a page that looks identical to the Microsoft site. So what could happen is that if you fall for such an attack by entering your credentials, you are basically giving the hackers access to your accounts and potentially allowing them to view confidential files and emails and things like that could lead to a major data breach. Now, before I talk any further again, ladies and gentlemen, please join me. Let me show you a demo of how this kind of attack could look like. So I have a demo video loaded up that will show you. I wanted to do this live before, but due to time constraints, we couldn't spare that time to do this live. So I'm going to be showing you a live demonstration, a video demonstration that I prepared ahead of time to show you how a such attack could look like. Sorry, my slide went off. So let me share my screen real quick of the video I made ahead of time. So okay, so this is it. So this is I'm glad to, of course, instead of using Microsoft, I decided to, for the live demo, I decided to go with Google instead, because I know that a majority of us here have Google accounts. So I'll say 80-90% of us here have Google accounts. So I wanted something that most of us could properly relate to. So I decided to use Google account, Google for the Google link message and a message and link for the demonstration, because that's what most of us are familiar with. So look at this, right? So if we received, most of us have Google accounts, so we know how email from Google usually looks like. So this is an example of it. So you receive something like this from Google telling you that a sign-in attempt was blocked. Someone tried to blah blah blah. Someone tried to use your password to try to sign in and things like that. So what do you see when you see a message like this? You panic. You start wondering that, oh, maybe someone has my password. What do I do? Majority of us here are going to click on the link. Majority of us are going to click on the link to Majority of us here are going to click on the link to try to fix the issue that Google says we have. So what do we do? Click on the link and we're redirected to a page. Now look at this page here. So if you have, I'm sure most of us have a Google account here. So we know exactly what the Google sign in login page looks like. So this right here, if it's a no-brainer. If you look at this, you automatically think this is the Google page. But I'm here to tell you today that this is fake. This entire thing that I'm looking at, both the email, both this Google signing page I'm looking at, it took me less than 5 minutes to do. So this is fake. So what do you do? So you come in here, you look at it, it looks like a legitimate page. So you try to put in your email. You put in your email, so I just random email tester. So I put in my email address. Next, it mimics the look and feel of the Google actual page. So look at this. The next thing that shows up, your email address is shown here exactly like how you would have it on the Google page. So you believe that this is legitimate. You put in your password as well. And what happens next? Just a minute. Let's watch it. What happens next? it loads like how it normally load, and then it refreshes, and you're back to the Gmail page, right? So most people, they are none the wiser. I'll show you what has happened in the background, but most people are none the wiser. They put in their email, they put in their password, they press enter, and then the page refreshes, and they're back to the Gmail page. They're none the wiser. Maybe some people might just assume maybe it was a network issue or something like that. But what has happened in the background is that email and that password that you put in, they've been fed to the hacker. The hacker already has all of the information that they need. They don't need to try to bypass any of Google's technology or something like that. They've successfully tricked you into giving them your username and your password. And like I said, this took me less than 5 minutes. So now imagine a hacker that has time to spend, to make this much more convincing for you, right? Imagine what they could do. So I'm going to show you, this is, of course, you just reloaded and you're back to the Google's actual page. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like on the hacker's end. So now this is what the hacker is likely going to receive. Your device details. So they have your IP address. They also have your email, and they have your password as well. They have a lot of information like what kind of browser you use, what system you're using to access the fake page and things like that. So this is what has happened. And like I said, this demonstration took me less than 5 minutes to do. And imagine what a hacker that has time to spend to make this much more convincing for you, what they can do with said time. So now, how can we protect ourselves if something like this should happen? What can we do? So here are some ways that you could handle this. The first way is to always check the sender's email. Now, what I mean by the sender's email, I don't mean the display name. So when you get an email, you're going to see that the email is from Google, the email is from Microsoft. That is easily fakeable. You can fake that pretty easily. You can change your display name and whatever the email you want to display. You can say Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Office. Anyone can do that. Now, what you should be looking out for is to look for the exact email address in which that particular mail was from. So try to look, there's always going to be small discrepancies in the actual sender's email address. So always don't ignore the display name. Always try to look at the exact email address that sent you that email. There are always small discrepancies that can tell you that can give you signs that this is fake. Right. And before clicking on any link, try to hover over the link, try to hover over the button or the link to see the exact address that you're going to. So now something I'll tell you that the hackers can actually they can make the page look exactly like Facebook, exactly like Google, exactly like Microsoft. But what they can do is get the exact domain name, the website address, facebook.com. They can't have that. Right. So what they usually try to do is try to get a domain that's similar to that. It may say maybe facebook.com or Facebook with maybe 5 O's or things like that. So small discrepancies that if you're not paying attention, you are going to fall for. So what I always try to advise people is that whenever you're on the internet, don't have the misconception that you are safe. The internet is safe. The internet is a very dangerous place if you are not careful. So whenever you go into the internet, always try to have a sense of urgency, a sense of panic, if you may. Always try to be paranoid, even just a little bit paranoid. That sense of paranoia, that sense of untrust when you're on the internet is going to save you so much in the long run, right? So another thing I was talk about is always to verify the email. So if you don't trust any email, don't click the link. So if you feel that the email, if you have doubt in your mind that whether the authenticity of the email is legitimate, don't click on any link. You could always you can always contact the support of these companies like Microsoft, Google, and ask them if a particular email was directly from them. If not, they will reply you most of the time pretty quickly. Another thing that you could and should be doing is to enable multi-factor authentication, 2FA, multi-factor authentication. What this does is that it adds an extra layer of security. So my 2 cents about multi-factor authentication is that wherever it is available, always ensure that you are using it. So this scenario that we've just talked about shows us how cybersecurity skills could empower you to stay secure in everyday digital interactions. So let's move forward once again. So now let's talk about our upcoming cybersecurity program overview. So I just want to talk about, our cybersecurity program is designed to help you build these essential skills. So it covers things like the core topics like your network security, the Linux operating system fundamentals, risk management, and also threat intelligence. We also have hands-on learning through labs, simulation, and exercises that allow you to practice real-world scenarios. So things like I just showed you, we have things like that. And we also talk about certification pathways. So we prepare you for industry recognized certifications, some of which include this Computer Security Plus. So these skills are high in demand, and this program offers you with a solid foundation in these skills. Why should you even join the program in the first place? Let's talk about why join the program. So we have a comprehensive. So these are some few reasons why you should our curriculum focuses on practical skills that meet the current industry standards. So we have a comprehensive curriculum. We also have experienced instructors like myself. So you're going to learn from instructors with real-world cybersecurity experience. We're also going to connect networking opportunities to connect with like-minded peers, mentors, and also professionals in the field. And of course, career support, which Divine also mentioned. So offer a resume workshop and job search guidance to help you launch your career in cybersecurity. So that brings me to a close on everything that I have to say. Now, before I leave, I'm just going to take a moment to thank you guys for being a fantastic audience. Now, I'd like to hear some of your questions, so whether about cybersecurity concepts, the program, or potential careers in the field. So feel free to ask anything that's on your mind. So I just want to hear from you guys. So if you have questions and comments, so please, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time that you should be asking those questions. So let me just hear from you guys now. Some things are unclear, questions about career, questions about the field. So please, ladies and gentlemen, ask questions. Do you do the GRC pathway as well? Okay. Yes, we don't fully go into the GRC pathway, but we're going to be giving you with a solid foundation in which you can build upon to get into the field of GRC. So GRC is governance, risk management, and compliance. So we have a class, like I said, we talk about, let me scroll up to the slide. We are talking about the curriculum. We talk about risk management, threat intelligence. So we are also going to give you a solid foundation upon which you could build upon to improve your GRC knowledge. So what is the first certificate you think so yesterday is asking, what is the first certificate that you think a non-IT project manager would try to get in the line of cybersecurity? So the first certification that I would always usually advise is the Commercial Security Plus. So it is one of the most recognized beginner level certifications. So Commercial Security Plus is a good starting point. Okay. Okay, so Sarah is asking, hi, hello. So I aspire to get in the cybersecurity industry. However, I don't have any IT background apart from GCSE. So do you have any tips on how I can get there, how I can stand out in apprenticeship so I can get in? So, like I said, you don't have to have you don't have to have prior technical knowledge to get in the field of cybersecurity. I know people that started with zero technical knowledge. So basically things like this program could help you to get a solid starting point, help you to understand all of the things that you need to know in the beginning phase of your career, to properly do well in the field of cybersecurity. So if you have zero background, zero technical background, it is not going to be a problem. We're going to be giving this program is beginner friendly. We're going to be giving you all of the knowledge that you require to succeed in the field of cybersecurity. Okay, so Michael is asking, first of all, how long will it take someone to acquire this experience and become confident? So our program is a 3-month program. So we have 6 weeks of classes and then we have 6 weeks of projects. So I believe within 3 months, I will not say you're going to become the best cybersecurity analyst or anything. I'm not going to sell you fallacies, but what I can tell you is that by the end of those 3 months, you're going to be better off than a lot of people that you're going to be better off than some people that haven't been in the field for up to a year without properly knowing, because the field it's not just classes. Like I said, 6 weeks for class and then 6 weeks with real world projects that are going to help you with hands-on skills. So within those 3 months, I believe that you'll be good enough to apply for entry-level roles. So please advise on which specification of laptop that I can use for this program. Okay, specifications of laptop. I'll say anything with perhaps maybe because we're going to be using virtual machines. So let's say stick with 16 gigabytes of RAM, maybe a Core i7 should be good enough. So nothing too extraordinary, but of course meets Core i7, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and anything. Yeah, I think that those should float to the boost. Maybe 500 gigabytes of hard drive storage too. So that should be good enough. 16 gig RAM, 500 gigabytes storage, at least 500 gigabytes storage, and also, in fact, 8 gig RAM is also going to work, but it's going to lag sometimes. But I would just recommend 16. So what software do you use in creating the fake Google page? Okay, so if you want to find out about what software, what tools I use to create a fake Google page, I'm going to have to join to find out. So maybe not, we're going to talk about it in the program. So you have to join the program to find out about that. So is coding skills a necessity for cybersecurity? No, it is not a necessity. It is going to help you. A knowledge of coding is going to help you in cybersecurity, but it's not an absolute necessity. There are cybersecurity professionals that don't know how to code, but coding is going to obviously help. It's going to be impactful, but it is not a necessity. What's your opinion on ISC2 certificates? I love ISC2 certificates. I think ISC certifications are the apps, they are very good. They are recognized globally, so they are really good thing. So if you have access, gain the ISC certifications. But at the beginning of your career, I would advise you to focus on getting the knowledge, and then certifications can come later on. How can someone without Microsoft experience be carried along? So you don't, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. I'm going to take you through from the beginning. Mohammed is also asking, is coding is required for cybersecurity? It is not important. It is not an absolute requirement, but it is going to help you. Nicole is also asking, I'm at university in my first year studying computer science. Next year, I have the option to specialize in cybersecurity. Would you recommend keeping my degree general or switching to computer science with cybersecurity, and why? Well, I feel if you're in university, I feel like getting the general knowledge is the best thing for you. And then after your university degree, then you can now try to specialize in a particular field. But if you have a computer science degree, you have general skill, you can go to any other field of cybersecurity. So I feel like keeping it general at first, and then after that, you can now decide to specialize. I don't have a degree but HND. Can this affect me on job search in IT? No, I don't believe so. It's the tech field as a whole is very they're very flexible. So if you actually have the knowledge, so long as you have it, the degrees is not so important. It's of course it is degrees are always important, but it is not an absolute no that without a degree you cannot. So that's what some of the reasons why a lot of people are transitioning into tech, because there's a lot of flexibility. So how can one register for the program? What's the procedure? Okay, so I'm going to let Divine talk to you guys about how to register for the procedure. So she's going to come back on board and tell you guys the steps to go about registering the procedure for the program. So I'm just going to take a couple more questions before I don't want to overextend the time. So I'm just going to take about.
Thank you so much, Abdul. Thank you so much, guys. I mean, I really enjoyed the session, and I think maybe this is something I can do. I mean, this is something I can really do. Thank you, Abdul Salam, once again, guys. That was the session.
Thank you very much, Divine.
How was the session, guys? Let's see in the chat. How was the session? I enjoyed the session, by the way. It was very packed and very informative. Thank you, Richard. The session was awesome. I need more responses. Let's see in the chat. Who is ready to kickstart this journey to become a okay. Musa said it was good. That's nice. So I saw in the comments that people were asking if you need to have like a tech background. You don't need to have a tech background. You don't need to know anything about coding. You don't need to know any of that. Just come prepared and just put in the work, and that's it. I mean, from the few minutes you had the presentation you have through, I'm sure you can tell that it's going to be an amazing class. Thank you, George. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Cindy. Quite informative, fantastic. Can I see like 2 to 3 more responses and then move on to the next slide, which is what each and every one of us have been waiting for. Next slide, please. Can we go back to the next slide, please? Brief or detailed. Fine, that's good. So let's go over your training timetable. Like I said, the live class will be for 6 weeks. Your class starts from next week, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that will be 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Nigerian time. So you have 6 weeks of live classes, and then your work experience comes next, right? So next slide, please. And before we go on to the next slide, so we give you access to our Tritek digital library. So before you start your class, and if any of you register today, which I believe that most of you would register today, so we give you access to our Tritek digital library for 5 months, right? So over there, you already have pre-recorded videos of all the topics that you can see on the screen there already. So for most of you that are wondering that, okay, so what if I miss all of the classes? Like, how will I be able to catch up? No worries. You can always log on to your TDL platform and you just watch the pre-recorded videos, and then you can catch up with the next class. Next slide. Fantastic. So like I said in the previous slide, after your 6 weeks of training, what be your work experience. Yes, hear me. So sorry about that. Can you hear me now? Please pop in the chat if you can hear me before I proceed. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. So like I was saying, after your 6 weeks of training, you have a work experience, which will also be 6 weeks. And let's not forget, it's going to be hands-on projects. So you get to choose to solve the wicked, keyword is wicked, problem from either your experience from an industry or an industry that you have interest in. Next slide, please. So fine. So now to the payment, which is what we've been waiting. So this cybersecurity course, yes, we're going for £950, and we're giving a discount of £650. I mean, if the price is okay with some of you, let me see your comments in the session. How do we feel about this price, guys? Can I see more responses to the chat, please? How do we feel about this price? Okay. Temitayo said it's expensive. I know, right? Let's have a discount on that. Expensive, please. Okay, it's too much. Paul said too much, and we said expensive. Okay. So Baba DJ, yes, you already have a pre-recorded video. So once you register, we'll send you a TDL login link, and you already have your pre-recorded videos there before you start your live classes. All I said is there no Black Friday discount. Sandra said too high. Michael said you believe you can still beat the price down. So let's do this now. So tell me the price you think we're going to go for this. If you're going to bring this down, let me see in the chat. Let me see your desired amount for this course. Let's see in the chat. For some of you are saying 650 is too much. Tune said 300. Musa 500. My 300. Oh wow, 500. Ola said 250. I mean, see Temitayo's comment. I think the price is reasonable. Thank you, Temi. Kristen said 350. Okay. Adnaya said 450. Abraham said 300. I like the fact that most of the prices here are 300, and I'm really happy to show you the next slide, please. So next slide, please. Now we have an additional discount. I'm still getting more responses for 300. That's nice. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. You see why I said I'm very happy? Most of you were very, 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 very close. Guys, how do you feel about this discount price? So it's going for £299 for new candidates. And if you're an existing Tritek candidate, it's going for £250. I think Tritek has done well. Can I see some response in the chat, please? If you're okay with this price, let's see. Because most of you are really close. Fantastic. Yes. Can I see more yes? That's awesome. That said awesome. Fantastic. I know, right? Some of you were very, very close to the actual price. So what I mean by existing candidates is that probably registered for another course, maybe in other courses, or you're currently doing a course in Tritek. That's what we mean by existing candidates. £250, and then for new candidates, £299. So let's go back to payment. Thank you, Sandra. Nice one. Next slide, please. So now, these are the steps you want to register. So for one-time payment, you can reach out to Esther or Kenny. That's for $299, Esther or Kenny. And then if you're going for installment payment, because I saw in the chat someone was asking if we accept installment for just one time. Okay. So for installment payment, it's $299. And just before I say anything more, I think I saw a comment. Just a moment, please. We have an additional news. It's really exciting. So guys, you're not just going to pay $299 for cybersecurity. We're going to give you a free course in Microsoft Office Mastery. How amazing is that, guys? You're getting £299 for cybersecurity and Microsoft Office. How do you guys feel about that? So we're going to give you sessions on Microsoft Office, Excel, and PowerPoint, which will guide you during the course of your live training in cybersecurity. Thank you so much, Nosa. Nosa said, nice package. I mean, $299 for 2 courses. I mean, and can I get more responses, please? I'm excited about this too, and I'm really, and I hope that you guys would really enjoy your training, getting 6 weeks of training in cybersecurity, and you also get training in Microsoft Office Mastery. So when you register today, get a free course in Microsoft Office Mastery. So let's go back to the payment. So for $299, you can reach out to Kenny or Esther, and then for installment payments, please reach out to Ade Joke. Or if you want to send an email, you can send payments to payment@tritekconsulting.co.uk. So you can quickly take a screenshot. This offer is just open to the first 20 people. So I would really like for you all to take advantage of this. You're getting a free course in Microsoft Office. How amazing is that? Let's go over to the next slide, please. Yes, for my people in Nigeria, please reach out to Anita or Sonia. You can text the word payment to Anita or Sonia. And please don't forget, guys, it's just open to the first 20 people. Once we've covered the slots, that is the end of the discount. So for those in Nigeria, please reach out to Anita or Sonia. Let's go over to the previous slide, please. For those in UK, you can reach out to Esther or Kenny. You can reach out to Esther or Kenny for one-time payment, $299, and you can reach out to Adejoke for installment payment. But if you'd like us to give you a call right after this session, you can drop in your numbers, and the members of the team will reach out to you just in case you have more inquiries or more questions, or you just want to know how the payment works. They can drop in your contact and definitely give you a call. So let's go back to the next slide for Naira payment. Someone is asking how much for those in Nigeria. So just text the word payment to Anita or Sonia. If I were you, I would get on with it right away. It's just 20 slots, people. It's just 20 slots. Yeah, so you can take a screenshot, text the word payment to Anita or Sonia, and they will respond to you right away. Like I said, if you still need a call, you can drop in your number or your email address on the chat, and the team member will definitely reach out to you. If you need more inquiries or if you have more questions about cybersecurity or the payment plan, please drop your contact, and then we'll definitely reach out to you. So admin, so you can just keep switching from the UK payment to Naira payment so that you can take screenshots and also take the numbers. Yes, guys. So you can send an email to payment@tritekconsulting.co.uk. Fantastic. I can see you all are dropping your numbers. Don't worry, we'll definitely reach out to you as soon as possible. I'm really excited. I mean, we don't get to do this all the time in Tritek. You pay for a course and you get an additional one. That's really amazing. Let's go back to Naira payments. So once you text the word payment to Anita or Sonia, and then they'll give you the payment details and also tell you the price for it. I hope you all understand. So that's why we say text the word payment to Anita or Sonia. Thank you so much, Abdul Salam. We'll be rounding up the session. Yes, you can text them on WhatsApp. You can text them on WhatsApp. You can call them directly, yes. And if you want them to text you on WhatsApp, you can just send them a message. These numbers are on WhatsApp, and you can also call them directly. And like I said before, so the lecture will start next week.